fake influencers, real money. According to the New York Times, some of the biggest names in social media today don't actually exist. Virtual influencers like Lil Miquela and Mia Zilo, created entirely by artificial intelligence, have millions of followers and are pulling in serious income. So this is kind of related to our last story as well. Lil Miquela, often described as the first AI influencer, has 2.4 million Instagram followers. That's kind of enough to depress me and you if you make content online, that a bunch of pixels in an AI has 2.4 million Instagram followers and can make nearly $74,000, not per post, not per year or not per month, but per post. This AI influencer is making $74,000 per post. She's appeared on magazine covers. It has appeared on magazine covers, released music, and fronted campaigns for Calvin Klein and Prada, all while being openly fake. I do give them credit for being open about it. Mia Zilo, who looks more photorealistic, convinced many fans she was real when she attended Wimbledon. These accounts are run by teams at companies like Dapper Labs, which script their personalities, captions, and brand deals. Critics say it's unsettling, especially when these digital creations pretend to grapple with real issues like cancer. But for brands, the appeal is obvious. An influencer who never ages, never misbehaves, and can be in London and Los Angeles on the same day. What's the real message here? Like it or not, we live in an era where fake influencers can be more powerful, more influential, and richer than real people. A lot of people thought this is the one field that is impervious. It's your acting skills, your personality, how good looking you are, your charm. Nope. Turns out AI can do that even better. You know, people talk about being humbled all the time when they really mean, well, this is a big honor. Well, I tell you, I'm humbled in the real sense here. It's humbling to see an AI clone be able to get 2.4 million followers on Instagram, and most of us aren't getting even close to 1% of that. Okay, let's dig a little bit deeper. One of the things I would ask you to do if you are a parent is find out what are your children looking at. I mean, I do have a phone for my daughter she's able to use, but she doesn't have any access to social media. Now she's 12. At some point that may have to change. But I am going to want to take a look at what she looks at. And yes, I know she looks at social media from time to time through other friends' phones and other friends' iPads and stealing mine from time to time. But I would be concerned if I were a parent and a child of mine or any family member spent a lot of time taking advice from an AI image. Now, look, I watched cartoons growing up. Those are fake. You kind of know it's a cartoon, but it's another thing to take advice and tips and tricks on how to live and how to get good habits and what to cook from something totally AI generated. So I don't know where to draw the line. And some of you may say, well, TJ, you're a hypocrite because you have an AI clone. That's true. I have tjwalker.ai. You saw an ad earlier if you were watching this. But it's designed for a highly specific people who can't fly to me or fly me to them to do one-on-one public speaking training or media training and want live interaction and want to be personally critiqued can go to tjwalker.ai and look at a clone, and it's me. It's a video image of me, but I can talk to you in my voice, give you feedback on your speeches, your presentations, and personal development habits. So, and it's clearly identified. It says, hi, I'm TJ's clone as soon as you see it. So there's no subterfuge involved. I'll grant you, it's a fine line between what's the difference of doing that and someone just looking at an AI influencer on Instagram giving tips on the latest fashions. I don't know exactly where the line is, but I do know that many serious people are predicting, some within 10 years, some within 5 years, some within 3 years, that every job is taken over by AI. And a lot of people for the last 10 years have been quite smug about, yes, they're going to get rid of the drivers and cab drivers and the truck drivers, and they'll have to retrain, not thinking, oh, it's going to come from my job too. So by all accounts, we're pretty close to the point where taxi cab drivers, truck drivers are going to be put out of business because of artificial intelligence. But it's happening to the beginning level coders. It's happening to some lawyers. It's happening to some radiologists. And now it may be happening to influencers as well in a lot of creative field. What does that mean? Long term, according to most experts on artificial intelligence and general artificial intelligence, true general intelligence, there's nothing you can do, because the only people who will work will be people who simply want to work. And the cost of everything will be so low because the technology will make it so inexpensive. So it's not that we're going to have mass starvation. It's that there simply won't be a need to work. I don't know when that's happening. If it happens in the next 2 years, you could say, why are we wasting time talking about this? Let's just go relax and enjoy ourselves. But it might not happen for 50 years, in which case someone my age might as well continue trying to be productive. I don't see any downside in you continuing trying to be as productive as possible, adding value to what you do to the world, how you help people, the services you provide, the products you create. And that's why I think it is essential we look and see what is AI doing and how can we add to that? Because I certainly saw the trend lines a long time ago, that the days of people like me making a living just by traveling to one person or a group of people and delivering an in-person workshop face-to-face for a day, those days wouldn't last forever. And in fact, they didn't. And that's why I got into the online training space many, many years ago. And it's why I've gotten into the AI clone, the virtual interactive clone business a year and a half ago. I'm not some genius. I didn't understand why anyone would want to be on Twitter. I didn't invent Google. I don't say it because I'm a genius, but I'm at least thinking about how can I always see where technology is going so I can be a part of it and not be left behind in the dust. And that's really my lesson to you as well. Think about how you can use these technologies. I mean, one aspect of these AI influencers is a lot of you watching this and listening to this may think, I've got expertise. I don't mind talking to clients one-on-one, prospects one-on-one over the phone, Zoom, but I don't want to be blasting my face all over social media. Well, now you can use AI agents to create some kind of avatar for you. Could be cartoonish, could be someone who looks like you, could be someone who looks exactly like you, to share your wisdom with the world. And you can then do something that you can have your clone do something you don't want to do. So there are a lot of positive aspects for this. Brands are liking this. They like influencers who can be everywhere, don't have to travel, don't negotiate, don't want salary increases, and don't get caught later being pedophiles, the way Subway found out with its Jared spokesman for years. But this line between authenticity and fabrication, it is collapsing. And where it ends up, it's really, really hard to tell. I want to say hello to some of our friends who are joining us live. So those of you listening on any podcast platform, you are listening on the on-demand version. I appreciate that. We typically go live 7 days a week with this show, typically around 8 a.m. Eastern time in the United States. So if you do want to join us live, you can try to stop in. Martins is saying hello. Martins, thank you so much for joining us. Let us know where you're watching from today. I see you're on Facebook. Festus writes in. Festus says, well, blue-collar jobs will rarely be taken over by AI. AI can't work without human input. So people losing out those who don't know how to use and apply AI. This is my opinion, TJ. I miss you, sir. Thank you. Been on the ground building and don't always make it here to listen to you, but blessings and keep you well. Forgive me. Forgive me if you don't believe in God stuff. No problem, Festus. Thank you so much for stopping by. Here's where I appreciate your sentiment. Here's where I'm going to respectfully disagree. And there's a fantastic interview, by the way, on the most recent edition of Diary of a CEO with an artificial intelligence expert who makes the case very clearly what blue collar jobs are going out of the way. So far, so much of AI has just been what happens on a computer in a digital world, but it's going back into reality, real things. That's what happens to autonomous cars. The technology is now going into real physical things, and that's putting a driver out of business. But you may see from time to time, it's a little bit herky and jerky, but there are actual robots these days. And just recently in China, there were robot Olympics where you see robots that kind of look like humans, and they're running and they're doing sports and they're jumping. It's still hard for them to pick things up and have the finger movement that of human, but it's getting better every day. And I'm certainly not an expert on every aspect of the technology of AI, but from all the experts I read and hear about, it's only a matter of a few years before a robot can be programmed to do any physical task, including plumbing, that a blue collar worker does today. So it's going to radically transform society, the economy, our culture. I don't know how we prepare for it. I'm doing the best I can right here by talking about these issues, getting you to think about it. I'm thinking about it, and all of us trying to build some skill levels wherever